Hello, 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 beautiful souls, and welcome to day 4 of our self-love challenge. So, what are we going to talk about today? The first 3 days we talked about our awareness of our thoughts and creating that space, what to do, what you can do in that space that we create with the awareness that we are not our thoughts, even though sometimes it really does feel that way. We can create that space between us and our thoughts, knowing that deep down we are not our thoughts. Today, what I want to talk about is 2 techniques, pretty simple, that can be used especially when it feels like we're drowning in our thoughts or the loop keeps looping. You can't quite get out of it. Not to bypass it, but there are times whenever it's like you just need a break, and like you're spiraling and you want some relief, maybe. Yeah. So, one of the things that I came up with a couple years ago, and I've seen it here and there, because, I used to be like super codependent on my husband, especially. I mean, it shows up in all kinds of situations. But with my husband, it was like really, really bad. Like it felt like a weight on me, and like obsessive, like constantly checking where he's at, what he's doing. And all of that energy that I was like projecting at him, and it was like all consuming, and that takes your power away whenever you're like constantly focused on something else, someone else. And for me, what got me out of that was this one phrase: who am I and what am I doing? Who am I and what am I doing? And what this does is it kind of like creates space for you to pull your power back. Like, am I this obsessive, controlling person? Which I know I'm not. Like, I know that I'm not. However, my behaviors were totally obsessive and controlling. So being aware of that, being aware that I wanted to move away from that, I wanted to spend my time learning about self-love, actually. However, that time was greatly reduced because of all of the energy that I was, spending trying to control him, essentially. And we cannot control other people. We just can't. Only you can control yourself, hopefully. Sometimes even that's a stretch, but we definitely cannot control other people. So letting go of that need for control, that want for control, who am I and what am I doing? Like, really feeling into who you are, aside from whatever it is that may be your current obsession. So that is a very profound thing that I did. I pulled myself out of a lot of toxic behaviors that way. Whenever I would watch myself starting to do them, I would say, who am I and what am I doing? And it would kind of like bring me back to myself and my goals and what I want to be spending my energy on that is productive for me and the world, right? Trying to control him or anything else for that matter, other than yourself, is basically a waste of your energy. And it's less energy you have to put into yourself and what you want to do. So just like doing that little shift. Who am I? What am I doing? It gets me back on track. And I still use this. I still use this. It's very helpful. Very simple. All of these things are like so simple. It's always the littlest things. It's the little things that kill, and it's the little things that make you fly. So incorporating these little things, if it's helpful to you, can create really big changes in the future. The next thing that I want to talk about today is gratitude. Gratitude is so powerful. Like, you cannot be in lack while you're in gratitude. So oftentimes, you know, the things we consume, like we're watching social media and see that, you know, Susie is going wherever and has this perfect life or whatever, and we can find ourselves like, you know, why not me? Why am I not there? Why don't I have these things? We get stuck in this lack loop, you know? Or even like people who have it more together, you know, or look like they have it more together. I don't think really anybody's got it all together. We're all just here winging it, trying our best. But we can, you know, start feeling sorry for ourselves, victim-y, you know, judging ourselves because we're not wherever whoever else is. And the way to easily pull yourself out of that is gratitude. And sometimes it can maybe seem hard, especially at first, especially if you're in a really dark place, you know, but there is always something to be grateful for. We are on this giant rock floating through space and time, and we have breath, you know? Like, think about what it would be like without your breath. So that's one thing we can be grateful for. I know in January I fell down walking my dog, and like I couldn't like lift a jug of milk for a little while. I had to like lay down and not move. So in that time, it's like whenever you lose it, you're like, oh, like it makes you so much more grateful for whenever you can function, right? And I was also really grateful for all the help I received in my house. Like, you know, my kids helped with the milk pouring and carrying the groceries in and cleaning up stuff because I couldn't bend, you know? So finding gratitude wherever you're at. Like, we can say you're doing laundry, right? And you're super pissed that you have all this laundry to do. But think about like not having the washing machine. And like having to go to the well to get your water. Like, grateful for electricity, you know, grateful for the roof over your head. Even maybe if your house isn't what you like would have wanted it to be, it still is a shelter, and you have that. So it takes you out of that lack and that victim. Like, let's say something happens to you, you know, then you have a choice to like learn something from it, to gain some sort of wisdom. Some of the worst things that have ever happened to me in my life have been the most profound little nuggets of wisdom in there. And like, I can see the beauty in them now, even though it's painful and it hurts. I'm grateful for the knowledge. So you can always find a little piece of gratitude and just really focus on that gratitude, you know? And you'll feel the difference in your body whenever you do that switch. You'll get relief from whatever it is that, because whatever it is that lack, that victim, it's a story you're telling yourself about this situation. You know, let's take a rainy day, right? It's raining out, and we can go a couple ways with this. I hate the rain. Like, I hate rainy days. It's so dreary. It makes me sad. Blah, 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 whatever. We don't like rain. So then that story creates a bad experience. I say bad. A negative experience. Like a non-preferred experience, right? There's tension in your body. There's resistance to what is happening. There's resistance to the moment. We can take that same story, the rainy day, and say, oh, I've been wanting to dance in the rain. You know, I'm glad that it's raining because my grass was dry and now it's not. Or we were in a drought and now we're not, you know? Finding the gratitude for the rain can help you change the story about what's happening from a negative experience to a positive experience. And it's this like non-resistance to whatever is happening. Like whatever is happening around you is happening. And you can create a story to bring you down, or you can create a story to lift you up. And normally when you're creating a story to lift you up, gratitude is the key piece that you want to be searching into to pull you out of that. So, yeah, gratitude is very important. So, for today's challenge, I want you to do a gratitude list. Name all of the things that you're grateful for. Fill up a couple pages. Like, don't overlook the little things either. Like, the grass is green and it like makes my eyes so happy, you know? Like, the birds are singing this morning and it just made me happy, you know? Like, watching clouds, how great is it that we get to like look up and see so many cool things in our sky, you know? Flowers, birds, the color yellow. Like, it's so incredible, our experience here, and we can get dragged down into negative stories. But whenever we zoom out and look at the big picture, like, we are here breathing. And all of these vibrant colors and sounds, like music. Oh my gosh, can you imagine life without music? Ugh. Like, just take it in and like let it be in you. And find that positive story. Create a positive story. You know, what's the story going on that's, you know, making these thoughts go, yeah, is that story true? And how can we flip that story? Who am I? What am I doing? Look around. What am I grateful for? And also, make a gratitude list and aim it at yourself. What are you grateful for within yourself? Your grit, your honesty, your love, your audacity, your brightness, your smile, your eyes, your body, the way you can move, the way you sing, the way you speak. the way you look at the world. What are you grateful for? Let me know. Bye.